The story continues with Xing taking Gao to a secluded place to ease his worries, telling him she thinks Chen is a good man. Later, Gao takes Xing back to his place but spends the night with Qin at Xian'a's. That same night, Dong sees Gao's absence as an opportunity to kidnap Chen. Luckily, Xing stops the kidnapping. In the process, Dong sustains a head injury, and Chen is hit, requiring hospitalization. Worried and confused, Xing tries to inform Gao of the recent happenings, but he doesn't answer his phone as he's busy getting drunk with Xian'a and Qin. During their drinking session, Gao recounts the tragic tale of his parents' deaths and how it resulted from Chen's betrayal. At first, Gao is unsure what to do next, but he eventually decides to continue feigning ignorance to exact his revenge. The following day, Xing finally reaches Gao, Qin, and Xian'a. Soon, the three are at the hospital, and Gao initiates his plan to trick Chen by feigning ignorance. After receiving a message from Xing, Yi arrives at the hospital to check on her. Yi accuses Gao of constantly endangering Xing, and things get heated, but Xing takes Gao's side. Qin and Xian'a take advantage of Chen's hospitalization to find and open his box. Gao and Xing remain in the hospital with Chen to avoid raising suspicion. Elsewhere, Dong tells Lian that Xing is responsible for his head injury. Out of curiosity, Lian tries to set up a meeting with Xing through Yi, but Yi declines. With the help of Xing and Gao, Qin and Xian'a manage to unlock Chen's box. Inside, they find a picture and an illustration. After photographing the items, Qin and Xian'a return the box. From a flashback, we learn that Chen knew Yun He, a woman from Xing's tribe, several years ago. In the present, Chen begins to suspect that Xing and Yun He may have the same origins. That night, Gao confronts Lian. She admits to knowing Chen's true identity and planning the whole thing. Lian's confession upsets Gao, and he says hurtful things to her. Elsewhere, Yi is worried about Xing's safety, so he goes to Lian's coffee shop to find out what she wants with Xing. After arguing, Yi warns Lian that if she harms Xing, she will face the wrath of his powerful family. Gao returns home mentally drained and seeks comfort from Xing. The two later go on a romantic midnight date, sing a duet, and reaffirm their love for one another. The following day, Yi goes to his family's company and asks the staff to investigate Gao. From their findings, he learns that Gao is a jewel hunter. This discovery leads Yi to conclude that Gao is only interested in Xing's star stone. After being discharged, Chen examines his box and suspects someone has opened it. Immediately, he devises a plan to confirm his suspicion. When Qin and Xian'a show Gao the picture from Chen's box, Gao recognizes the woman in the image as Yun He, realizing that Xing's tribe might be connected to the load. Gao rushes back home to meet Xing and ensure her safety. He tells her to be extra careful and to trust only him. The conversation is interrupted when Xing is invited to go hiking with Yi. While waiting for Xing to arrive, Yi is with his assistant Zhua. Zhua, who is still secretly in love with Yi, tries her best to get his attention, but he brushes her attempts aside. Gao accompanies Xing to meet Yi. Upon reaching the chosen location, Yi pulls Xing aside and warns her about Gao's profession and sinister intentions. In response, Xing tells Yi that she trusts and loves Gao unconditionally. In line with his plan, Chen tells the group it's his birthday and invites them all to a karaoke venue. He brings along the picture from his safe and leaves it lying around for Gao to find. He concludes that if Gao hides the picture from Xing, it means he has recognized Yun He and doesn't want Xing to reveal his secret. Gao ends up hiding the picture. When everyone is leaving, Gao figures out that Chen is testing him. He tells Xian'a that since Chen is no longer pretending, he will stop pretending too. Hours later, Chen finds Gao's jewel studio. Inside, he finds clues all over the place that make him realize Gao is the son of his old friend, whom he betrayed. Feeling unsafe, Chen tries to run, but he doesn't make it out of the house. That night, Gao tries to interrogate Chen, but he is interrupted by Xing. The following day, Gao takes Chen to Qin and Xian'a's apartment to conduct a proper interrogation. While being interrogated, Chen realizes how ruthless Gao truly is, so he opens up. Chen tells Gao and the others that he and Gao's father had created a fake gemstone to sell, and they had lied about finding a load. When Xing realizes that Chen is nowhere to be found, she grows suspicious, but she doesn't dig deeper because she gets distracted by an invitation to go out with Yi and Zhua. In private, Chen tells Gao that the fake gemstone was inspired by a real stone he had seen with his then-girlfriend Yun He, whom he suspects comes from the same place as Xing. Chen believes that the load is in Xing's home. He tries to convince Gao to team up with him to find the load, but Gao turns him down. Gao heads out and asks the others to look after Chen, but the old man manages to escape. Immediately, they learn of his escape. Xian'er, Qin, Xiaodi, and his men head out in search of Chen. Xing's lunch date with Yi and Zhuo is cut short because she receives a call from Chen, who claims he is in danger and needs her help. Xing calls Gao to inform him of the situation, but he doesn't answer because he is meeting with Lian and Dong. During the meeting, Gao tells Lian and Dong that the lode does not exist. He also gives them the design for the fake gemstone. Convinced that Gao is hiding something, Lian secretly instructs Dong to find Chen. Shortly after Xing arrives at the location Chen gave her, she is joined by Xian'er and Qin, who are also pursuing Chen. After spotting the group, Chen boards a bus to make his escape. Xian'er calls Gao to come pick up Xing while Xiaodi and Qin take off in pursuit of Chen. Elsewhere, with the help of Yi's mother, Zhuo convinces Yi to let her move in with him for a week. When Gao eventually catches up to Xing, he tries to convince her that Chen is not a good man, and this leads to their first fight. Xian'er tries to convince Gao to tell Xing the truth about Chen, but he disagrees, saying her innocence must be preserved at all costs. Gao reconciles with Xing that evening and lets her continue to believe that Chen is her friend. Elsewhere, Chen teams up with Lian and Dong. He tells them that the lode is located in Xing's hometown and that she is the key to finding it. The three devise a plan to take advantage of Xing's friendship with Chen and capture her. Now alone in the house, Gao and Xing enjoy each other's company. Gao asks Xing what 3 things she would like to do, and she asks for an all-girl shopping spree, a birthday celebration, and to see snow. In their apartment, Qin and Xian'er watch artificial stars together, and they have a somewhat romantic moment. For the girls' shopping spree, Xing asks Xian'er and Zhuo to accompany her. The boys tag along and take the opportunity to advise Qin to confess his feelings to Xian'er. The next day, Gao puts a lot of effort into celebrating Xing's birthday. Yi, Xian'er, Zhuo, and Qin are all in attendance. After dinner, Gao gives Xing roses and a recording he made of their favorite book. Outside, Gao makes a grand romantic gesture for Xing. Yi and Zhuo watch the couple from a distance, and Zhuo takes a bold step by asking Yi to kiss her, but he blows her off. The next day, Yi finds out that Zhuo runs his biggest fan site and accuses her of taking up the job as his assistant so she can profit off him without his knowledge. Zhuo tries to explain herself, but Yi fires her. Elsewhere, Gao learns that Lian and Dong are after Xing, so he pretends to cheat on her with Xian'er. He does this so Xing would get heartbroken and return to her village, where she would be safe. True to the plan, Xing is utterly heartbroken, and she leaves Gao's house. From a flashback, we learn that Gao had asked Yi to find Xing when she leaves his house and take her to the cliff. Yi sets out to find Xing, but he is stopped by Zhuo, who is desperately attempting to explain her intentions to him. Yi finally leaves in a taxi, and even when Zhuo gets injured, he chooses to go after Xing. As a result of the delay, Yi doesn't catch up to Xing. Chen finds her first and takes her to one of Dong's safe houses, all the while pretending to be her friend. When Gao learns that Xing is missing and might have fallen into the hands of Lian and Dong, he nearly loses his mind. Gao searches all over for Xing but doesn't find her. Upon returning home, Yi wants to apologize to Zhuo, but she is nowhere to be found. Zhuo meets with Yi's mother and tells her that she has finally decided to give up on her love for Yi. Before leaving, Zhuo asks Mrs. Yi to give Yi a note that would reveal her true identity as Jiayu. Desperate to find Xing, Gao breaks into Dong's main safe house, but she is nowhere to be found. Gao gets caught, and he is beaten by Dong and his men. Refusing to be deterred, Gao goes to Lian and humbly begs her to release Xing, but even after humiliating him, Lian refuses. When Yi receives the envelope from his mother, he realizes that Zhuo is Jiayu, his childhood sweetheart. At that moment, he starts to see her worth and realizes he also has feelings for her. Yi begs his mother to take him to Zhuo, and after much persuasion, she agrees. After Gao's visit, Lian and Dong start to grow impatient, so they go to the safe house where Chen is keeping Xing. Lian tells Chen he has one day to retrieve all necessary information from Xing inside. Xing offers to take Chen to her village where they would both be safe from Gao. After Xing incapacitates the 4 security guards Lian stationed outside the house, she takes off with Chen. Immediately, Dong and Lian learn of the escape. They send men out after the pair. On the way, Xing says she would not leave without speaking to Yi, so they stop at a salon and borrow a phone. At first, Yi doesn't answer the phone because he is in the middle of confessing his feelings to Zhuo, but he eventually does. While speaking to Xing, he asks her to give him 10 minutes to come to her. Instead of going to Xing, Yi calls Gao and gives him the information. 10 minutes are up, and Gao, despite trying his best to reach the location, doesn't meet up. When he gets there, Chen and Xing are already on the move. While walking through the forest leading to Xing's village, Chen silently plans to come back for the load after learning the village's location. On getting to the village, Xing has Chen locked in a cage. She tells him that though their friendship is sincere, she brought him with her because she knows he has bad intentions toward Gao. Xing says that although Gao hurt her, she knows he did it to protect her, so she would do anything to protect him. On Earth, Gao, Xian'er, and Qin are unable to figure out if Xing made it home safely or if Lian and Dong captured her. Realizing that Gao is now their only hope, Lian and Dong decide to trick Gao by telling him that they have Xing and are holding her hostage. They tell him that they will only set her free if he gives them a map to Xing's hometown. Gao falls for the trick, and when he shows up at the abandoned warehouse, he is attacked and tied up by Dong's men. The following day, Gao realizes that Dong and Lian had turned to him because Xing escaped, and so they were desperate. Determined to protect the woman he loves and her people, Gao tells Dong and Lian that he will never tell them where the load is, even if they kill him. Provoked, Lian nearly stabs Gao, but Dong holds her back. Elsewhere, Xian'er and Qin have noticed that Gao is missing and are frantically searching for him. Just as they manage to track Gao's phone to the abandoned warehouse, Xian'er and Qin receive a video call from Lian, who shows them video evidence of Gao in his beaten-up state. Lian then tells the two that the only way they can save Gao is to bring Xing to her. After speaking with Lian, Xian'er and Qin are overcome by panic and worry. Xian'er wants to go to Gao immediately, but Qin stops her. This leads to an argument, and Xian'er explodes. She says hurtful things to Qin and calls him a coward, but she apologizes immediately. Qin reflects on Xian'er's words and decides to be brave. He gives Xian'er sleeping pills and sets off with hand grenades to save Gao on his own. Qin's bravery pays off, and he manages to save Gao, but in the process, Dong gets a picture of the map to Xing's village. Although Gao escapes, Qin gets badly injured and is rushed to the hospital. While being rushed to the ER, Qin finally confesses his feelings to Xian'er. He also tells her where to find evidence about Lian and Dong to take to the police. Worried that Lian and Dong would wreak havoc on Xing's village and her people, Gao heads out to warn her. Coincidentally, Dong, Lian, and their men are also trying to make their way to the village by following the map. When they spot Gao, they decide to tail him. In the village, Xing longs for Gao, and Chen remains in the cage until he is spotted by Yun He, his longtime girlfriend. Yun He recognizes that Chen's greed landed him where he is and attempts to kill him, but Xing stops her and releases him. After his release, Chen apologizes for his wrongdoings and warns Xing, Yun He, and the villagers of the impending danger. Ultimately, Yun He leads the villagers to a cave where they would be safe while Chen and Xing head out searching for Gao. Moments later, Gao meets Xing at the entrance to the village, and the two quickly reconcile. Chen apologizes to Gao, but Gao says not all mistakes can be forgiven. Dong finds the village's location by tailing Gao and goes back for Lian and the rest of their men. Shortly after, Lian, Dong, and all their men arrive at the village. They command Xing to take them to the load, but she refuses, and a fight ensues. As the battle rages on, Dong pulls out a gun and tells Xing and Gao that he will shoot them if they don't give up the position of the load. In the cave, Yun He hears the commotion, and so she returns to save Xing. When she sees Dong pointing a gun at Xing and Gao, she fires her arrow at him, and he, in turn, fires the gun in the direction of Xing and Gao. Out of nowhere, Chen uses his body to shield the couple, and he dies from the bullet wound. Xing agrees to take Lian and Dong to the load, but she takes them around in circles. When the two realize that they are being tricked, another fight breaks out. This time, the police, accompanied by Xian'er and Yi, intervene and take Lian and Dong into custody. Now fully aware of the existence of Xing's village and the load, the government seals off the mining area to protect the natives. When everything is over, and peace has been restored, Xing, Gao, Yi, Yun He, Xian'er, and Qin hold an emotional memorial for Chen. In the future, Xian'er, Qin, and Gao leave the jewel hunting industry. Qin, who is now a professional gamer, and Xian'er, who is aspiring to become an author, are now an official couple. Xing moves in with Gao full-time, completes her volunteer training, and joins a first aid team. Yi realizes he is madly in love with Zhua, so he asks the group to help him with a plan to get her back. Xian'er, Qin, Gao, and Xing kidnap Zhua and take her to Yi. Yi makes a grand romantic gesture for Zhua that involves opening the cake store that they had fantasized about in their childhood. Finally, Zhua agrees to be with Yi. On a beach, Gao proposes to Xing, and she says yes. Shortly after, the lovebirds are joined by the two other couples, Qin and Xian'er, and Zhua and Yi. The series concludes with all three couples performing the car taming dance. What did you think of that final part of that story? Like and subscribe to support the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching and see you next time for more fun recaps.